Second row on the right side. Christy, you'll lead us off with Myles, Garrett.
Is it safe to say that you're finally healthy?
Yeah, mostly. I'm still not 100%, but probably as close as I'll get there this season and do the best I can with it.
How nice was it for you to, finally kind of feel like yourself again and be able to do the things that, you've been able to do in the past?
I mean, it was great to finally, be able to move and, get off, close to how I want to. And so I just demonstrated, what level I can play at when I'm close to being healthy.
Right side, Ben.
I want to know what did that dance, your post-sack dance, how did that start?
Which one?
The one, the hand deal. That's the best. That's the best I can do seated. I'm not going to stand up and do this.
Actually, I was playing FIFA with a friend, and that's one of the celebrations. And he was like, "I bet she won't do it." I was like, "All right, I'll get a sack. I promise. I got you."
You go to the back, Daryl.
I've got two things for you, Myles. First of all, the bow, and you kind of pointed. Was there somebody that you were pointing at in particular?
Oh yeah, I was pointing at my dad. He was like, "Yeah, I don't know about that dancing." I was like, "All right, I'll hold off." So I gave him a bow and I put up the L because my middle name's Lorenz and his name is Lawrence, so it's a little nod to him.
And then I want to ask you about the confidence that how you guys played today defensively, how that kind of helps you going into Thursday's game against an LSU team that's got a pretty solid offense.
I mean, we've been sloppy the last couple games, and to go out there and just make some key stops when they've got past the 50, that definitely helps to boost our confidence a little bit going into the next game, and we have to start preparing quick because they're on their way. So we have to get ready to win.
Okay, we'll go to Christy and then we'll go to Travis.
What does it mean to you to be only the 8th person in SEC history to have 30 sacks in a career?
I mean, it's nice to know, but hopefully I'm not done. Hopefully I can get past 35 and just keep on leaving my mark on the game.
Right up front, Travis.
What did it mean for you personally to have the kind of game like you did today going into that LSU game and going into the postseason?
I just try to leave it all on the field. And no matter who I'm playing, whether it's the best or the UTSA or it's Alabama, you got to play like they're all at the same caliber. And so I'm not going to hold off, or I'm not going to change up anything different. I'm going to give it my all, and my teammates going to do the same. And I just came out, made some key plays because they held up some blocks and allowed me to get free.
We'll go to Mark and then Christy will wrap us up.
Myles, about when did you feel like you were going to be able to really turn it loose today? Was it in warm-ups early in the game, or was it earlier this week in practice?
Really early in this week in practice. I felt like I really, got over an obstacle that was, holding me back. I was really, struggling trying to come out and, just come off that foot and bounce off and, get lateral. And I knew that, if I just worked on it and just went out to practice and worked on it, that I'd be able to be successful in the game. And once I got over that kind of fear and that the pain went away, I knew that I'd have some success.
And Christy will wrap us up.
I know when you were hurt, you were kind of downplaying how bad you felt, but we could see you limping, and it was pretty tough to watch sometimes. How tough was it to have to deal with that and still try to play?
I mean, it hurt a lot, but I knew I still have to be a figure on the team. I have to to display confidence in my guys and show that I'm still going to fight for them. Or whether it's being on the side and waving the towel and being a vocal leader, or trying to get out there and fighting my injury and just getting out there and playing as hard as I can, despite the injury. And so I just gave them all, and finally I've broken through that wall.
All right.